Alright, so we're back. How's it going, everybody? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing great. So the first thing I want to talk about is, again, thank you guys for what's been going on recently. You've been insane with the support, the subscription, like in the recent videos. You're awesome. And if you're new to the channel, come on, man, what's holding you back? It's so freaking fun in here. And the second thing I want to talk about is that a lot of bad things have been happening with me recently. Once I decided to do something right, once go down, just don't stop, man. Keep on going. If you what you're doing and the decision you took it's right, just don't stop, man. Don't stop. This bad thing that happened to you is only there to make you better, or just to prevent what's worse from happening. And this is, you'll never see it that way once it gets to you, but after you think of it, after you actually keep on dancing or keep on doing what you're doing, you're gonna get back and say, wow, if this didn't happen. Keep going, man. Just I don't know what to say other than keep going. So with that aside, remember that 450 bucks gaming PC I made like, I don't know, 4 months ago? It's awesome, it's great, but this gaming PC build is a gaming PC that will kick you out of heaven and make you go insane. So let's get to it. Actually, before we get to it, this PC has a lot of compromises, but again, it gives you a great performance in gaming. So if you want a well-balanced gaming PC build, you can check out that video from Ozzy Talks Hardware, or that beautiful video from Zach's Tech Turf. So first up with the CPU, we got the Ryzen 5 1600AF, which is essentially the same as the Ryzen 5 2600, in case you didn't know. So it gives you a great performance in gaming. You should not do streaming with it, but video editing will be fine, and it's for 85 bucks. And this is hands down the best price per performance CPU in the budget market. There is no competitor to that CPU, and it's still for a cheap price. Compare it to an i3 9100F, it performs. Compare it to a Ryzen 5 2600, it performs the same. You can even compare it to a Ryzen 5 3500X, which is not in the USA, you can only find it in China. But again, it gives a great performance for the money. And again, the Ryzen 5 3500X, you can get it from AliExpress for around 120 bucks without the CPU cooler. That one, you're saving like 50 bucks or 55 bucks and getting a great performance. So yeah, this is like a CPU that just tells you buy me. Next up, the board, and this is where we made some compromises. So we're going with the Gigabyte A320M Ace 2H, or the A320M, the cheapest one I could find, for around 50 bucks. This board is great and it gives you a great performance. It's like got everything you would need. It's got 2 RAM slots, you cannot overclock it, it supports our CPU, you don't have to do any BIOS update, and this is one of the most essential things that people get into once they build a gaming PC. So not having to go through updating your BIOS for your gaming PC is actually awesome. The only downside with this board is that it doesn't support overclocking, so this may be not that future proof, but again, it's gonna be compatible with the Ryzen 5 3000 series. I don't know about 4000 series, the upcoming one, but we know that the Ryzen 5 3600, even 3700X, even though they're overclockable, they're gonna work on this board fine. So if you wanna take the bullet to make this PC at around 505 bucks, it's a great buy. Now for the RAM, we're looking at a 1 stick of 8GB DDR4 at 3000 MHz. I believe it's G-Skill, but I can't remember exactly. No, it's Crucial Ballistics, yeah. For around 35 bucks, a single stick of RAM. So 8 gigs is more than enough for gaming these days. It's gonna, keep up with you for the next 2 to 3 years. But, I'd say 2 years as a maximum, because, games right now need a lot of RAM, more than 8 gigs. But hey, for now it's gonna be fine. You can still do some light video editing with it, and it's okay. The only reason I didn't go for 2 sticks of DDR4 RAM, because I don't want you to resell those in order to upgrade to 16 gigs. So you just have to buy like an extra 8 gig stick and you'll be fine. But again, I'll leave that to you, and I'll leave all the other options down in the description. For the hard drive, this is where we also made a bit of a compromise. We are going with a 1TB hard drive from WD. It's for around $27, and I'll leave a link to a hard drive that's 100% identical to the hard drive that I own right now. The only difference is mine 500 gigs. 1TB is more than enough. I know I should have went for an SSD, but SSD is actually not right now is like $8 to $9 more expensive, so that will raise the budget to like 515. And again, 240 gigs, as much as I hate to say it, is not a good like amount of space in order to keep your games. But the only upside or the only pro for going with an SSD is that you don't have to reinstall the Windows if you got the hard drive first and then you got the SSD. So I'll leave that to you, man. But if it's me, I would go for the mechanical hard drive for the amount of storage because I need a lot. For the case, we're looking at the HEC. I don't know the rest of the stuff, but it's for around 38 bucks. It's one of the best price performance or price looking cases. It's got a glass side panel, you know, it looks good, it looks decent. It's in black, glossy black from Newegg for around like 38 bucks. It's the seal. It's the cheapest case that looks decent right now. Now next up, the power supply, and we are looking at the thermal take 430 watt 80 plus power supply for around 38 bucks. Now the EVGA 400 watt is not on Amazon right now, so if it is, I'll link it down below. This PC doesn't consume like pretty much any power, like, and it's something around 230 watt or something like that, so it's not that power hungry. So any power supply that's cheap enough in order to fit in the budget will be fine. But you know, EVGA and Thermal Take, you know, there are two well-branded, you know, power supply companies, so you can get it and you'll have no worries if the power supply, it will never fail you, you know. Now for the star, the GPU, and it's, I know what you're thinking of, the GTX 1650 Super. Yeah, I got you. It's not, my man. We are looking at the single fan GTX 1660 Super. I believe it's from Asus. So this one is one of the best price performance GPUs on the market right now. As I've said before, it's for 230 bucks. So you'd be saving a lot of money. So this PC combo, as you can see right now, can play a game like Call of Duty Warzone at 1080p ultra settings, then you're getting 90 frames per second. If you play in at 1080p low, you're gonna get around 120 frames rates. Add some other games like Fortnite, you're gonna have play at 144 frames, no problem. The upcoming Valorant is not that actually GPU intensive. I've seen a benchmark of it with an RX 470, and it was getting 120 to 130 frames per second at 1080p low. So yeah, this CPU GPU combo is great, and it will give you a great performance in 1080p and even 1440p, and it will last you for like the next 4 years. It's console killing PC, man. So yeah, there's nothing to worry about. So that's a wrap. And if you like that video, press on that like button. If you didn't like it, let me know down in the comments. And if you got any question, let me know again. And yeah, we'll be doing 2 videos daily for the month of April. Thank you for watching, and peace.